Hello people, welcome back. I'm getting, I've been working on Tales of Suburbia like crazy to try to update it to the PCopy format, and I have one more stage to go, and I need to take a break. So what I thought I'd do is a simple program, how we can make an animation. Okay, an animation with data lines. I did a video like this before, but this is going to be different. This is going to be on the text screen. And so let's just put a data line in there. And I'm going to try to make it look like an arrow. Like from, it's going to be the same kind of arrow that was in Ghost Saga. That doesn't really look that great. How about, uh, uh, you know what? I'm going to leave it this way. Um, my only, and there's just going to be one data line, I guess, or one piece of data. And my only beef with this computer is that the keyboard doesn't have much for the text screen at all. It's really hard to do anything on the text screen. Like on a Commodore, it's loaded. It has Petsky characters, and I mean, you can do a lot. This, you can't do that much. It's hard to even make a stick figure. So I'm just going to make an arrow instead. And so we're going to have to, we're just going to read $, and that'll take care of that. So we'll have this, this is $, now. And we're just going to have it shoot across the screen. And so the next thing we need to do is get it in, let me think here. Get it in. Now I have my mind on the graphic screen. I have to get to the text screen. So have $. So let's let's um let's uh let's define. We're not gonna define BM $, because that was the draw. If you guys watch my other videos, you know what I mean. Now we're gonna have to define STR $, I think. Um, BM $. No, let's say we're not gonna. Let's see. We're gonna define. Let's get rid of this. We're gonna define B $. Last time it was BM $, because that was the draw configuration of where to start. So I usually would start with BM $ equals, and we don't have to do that here. We're just going to do B $ equals, and we don't need STR $, because that involves numbers, or do we? Yeah, I think we might. Now I'm trying to pull this all into focus now, and I haven't used this in a while. Just give me a minute here. It's print at, and I have a allergy. It's allergy season, and I dread allergy season. I used to be a bad allergy sufferer with like severe allergies. Now they're kind of they're kind of they're not severe anymore. They are, I can't think of the word, but they're not as bad as they used to be. I used to get really, really sick, and now it's kind of a mild case. So I'm looking at my print at worksheet. Can't talk. Print at worksheet. So if we want to start in the middle of the screen, let's figure out how to set this up. We're going to have to, I don't know how to do this. We're going to have to put some numbers in there. I just don't know how to set this up. Let's try something else for a minute here. We're going to put print at, I have to find it on the keyboard here. Print at, let's say 224. And there's actually two numbers here. I don't remember how this works exactly, so I might get an error at first. And I think I just put $B in there. Let's see what happens. Alright, so... Alright, that didn't work. Edit 5. Print. We don't need the 0. We don't need that in there. Because, let's see what it gave back here. Edit 5. Delete. Insert a comma. Let's see what happens now. Move the cursor. We're just getting $B oh, $B doesn't have a definition. Number one, it's $A, and I don't think it's supposed to be in quotation marks. So let's get rid of the quotation marks, change that to $A. Alright, there it goes. So when we run this, we got the arrow starting right there. So now I can the thing was, I was going to try to use str $ for the numbers, and I don't even think it's necessary, but let's edit 5, and we're going to insert plus y. So if I run this, y has a value of 0, and it stays where it is. All right. So now we can use timer, or we can use a loop, like a for next. Why don't we use the timer for people that, and let's edit for people that, there's more than one way to do these things. There's not. It's like the same thing when you're trying to solve an algebraic equation or a geometry problem or whatever. There's more than one way to come up with the same answer. And since a computer is essentially just a mathematics machine, it applies here. So I'm just gonna, we have the animation up here already. Let's put animation down here, if I can spell it. Animation. That's the other thing about me, like, I like consistency, and if I'm not sure how to spell a word, or I think it's not spelled right, I will look it up immediately. to make sure it's right. So this should say data. Okay, here's our data. We read the data, goes into $8. It's a string data. Jeez. Excuse me. Um, wow. If it was a number, if our data was numbers, then we'd get rid of the $sign. We'd just read A. And if it's a combination, we can use str $sign to translate it, a number to a string. For instance, a $sign equals, XYZ, okay? And then we can put plus str $sign, and we can put a number in here. Alright, so that converts the number to a string. Now when we print a $sign, it's going to print XYZ and then the number in parentheses, okay? So we can use this setup, or we can use a different type of setup. So this is good for the draw. This works really well because you can define BM $sign, and it's magnificent with draw because I can put a variable in here, and that's how I move around the graphics screen. But we're not doing that right now. Instead, we're gonna, and I'm looking at my print at worksheet, and I actually have to get my glasses. I just started wearing glasses a few, like this year, I think, or maybe the end of last year, because my eyes are, I do so much reading in my field of academia that my eyes are starting to get worn out, and I have a lot of screen time on top of that. And I also do a lot of reading on top of that, so I'm constantly using my eyes. So we have 224. By the looks of this thing, it goes in increments of 1 all the way up to 31. So what I'm going to have to do here is put another line in and relist it in 5. I don't even have to do that. Oh, that's great. Hopefully I didn't kill my program here, so I'll really be upset. We don't need that either. We're boiling this down to be as easy as possible. So what I'm actually going to do is put y equals y plus 1. Okay, and we're going to say if y is greater than 31, it's telling me that we have 31 characters wide, plus the 0 makes 32 across. So if y is greater than 31, then y equals 0. It's going to get reset back to 0, and we won't use the increment. Or we could have it go all the way down the screen, and I'll show you that after. But we're going to leave it like this right now, and what I'm going to do is put a timer in here. And like if I print the timer right now, it's just some random number. So when we start the program, we're going to have to put timer equals 0. And I don't remember the full length of the timer. I can't remember what its top end is. And I know we had a discussion about this before. but offhand I don't know what it is. But what we're going to do here is, since I don't know what it is, we're going to say, we're going to start with 0. It's going to read through here. Alright, we're going to print the timer, and then we're going to drop out of this program. Alright, we're going to run this again, and it keeps coming up with the number 2. So it's now it's coming up with a number 1. Let's try to get in. Run. Seems to be somewhere between 1 and 2. So that tells me it takes it counts between 1 and 2. By the time it gets down here, it's about a 1 or a 2. And another thing I have to do, excuse me, is clear the screen. So why don't I renumber this? Renum. And this is tricky to use. I use this all the time. It's so easy to forget how to do. We're going to renumber 0 is 1. So whatever we want the new line to be, it comes first. Where we want to start comes next. Increment comes second. So now we're back to 0 here. And what I want to do is I want to CLS the screen. And we can use all 9 colors. I believe there's 9 colors. There's 8 colors. And then there's black. And I don't know which one's going to look the best. Let's try magenta. Unfortunately, we can't get inside of this and make the actual background a different color in here, but we can change the color of the screen. So now we need to place on line 3, not line 3, actually line 6, we need to place instead of a comma here, or actually no, we leave the comma because that's part of the print at structure. You have to have a comma. So we're going to place our semicolon here, and that's going to, well, you know what I have to do now is I need to get rid of print timer, and I just need to go to 8, and it gets rid of that strip there. So as you can imagine, the arrow is going to shoot across the screen in increments of 1. And so we have that set up here. So now this is going to be our timer. We're going to say if timer equals, I don't know, 500, then CLS 5, or hang on a minute, then CLS 5, and then we can put go to 5, and what's going to happen here is I'm going to make it go to 9. So once it hits this point, the timer is going to be at 2. It's going to keep going back to 9 until the timer reaches 500. Then it'll clear the screen back to magenta, which it shouldn't be 5. That's green. It should be 3. And then it'll go to 5 and reapply it in a different place. And it should start over again. So this is a 10-line program here. I'm trying to keep it as minimal as possible. So I need to edit 9, change this to a 3, and we should have an animation after it reaches 500. It's going to keep, you know what? It's not going to work because it's not going to hit right at 500. See, it's already over 600. So we're going to have to say if timer is greater than 500, then okay. And on top of that, I'm going to have to reset the timer. So it's going to seal as 5. We're going to reset the timer, and then we're going to go back to 5. Alright, so timer equals 0. Now we should have a working program, and we don't have to use a for next loop because that gets old after a while. And we're using data read instead of drawing this out in here. So now it should go. If it doesn't, I'm not sure what's wrong. And there it goes, it moved, but it's moving way too slow. Okay guys, so this is going to have to be, let's reduce it down to 100 and see if that makes it any faster. It should make it, there it goes. So we have an arrow shooting across the screen, and it was that easy. It only took 10 lines of code. It's going really slow, but it is moving. And that's, let's cut that in half because that's still too slow. We're going to edit 9. We're going to take the 0 out, change it to a 50. There it goes. So this is the same arrow that I have on Ghost Saga, but this is on the text screen. So you know, when it reaches here, it's going to start over. It should. Let's see if it starts over. And what I was going to say is that let's see how far that goes. Huh. It's actually continuing for some distance there. And but in all actuality, you could make a video game just on the text screen. You know, it'd be fun to do a port of Ghost Saga, but on the text screen. You know, that would, you know, I might actually attempt that. That would be interesting to see. And you know what I'm going to do? Because I really don't know where the cutoff point is. You have to measure the length of this. So it's going a little bit beyond the spec because there's more characters than one character. I'm gonna get rid of I'm gonna get rid of, you know what I'm gonna do before I end this video? I'm gonna do something else here. We're gonna edit 6 and we're gonna change this to 0. So we're gonna start all the way up at the top here. So if I run this, now we're at the top, guys, alright? And what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna get rid of this clause here and just keep it that way for now. Because our max end to the bottom of the screen is, I gotta get my glasses again, 480 plus 31, 511, so 512 with the 0, edit 7, if y is greater than 512, but I have to take some off, and I'm not sure how much. Let's try 508, then y equals 0, and it'll go back to the top. The other thing we gotta do is we need to speed this way up. This is going slow. Let's try 1010. That might still be too slow, but there it goes. It should reach the bottom of the screen, and see how smooth that is? It's actually applying, you know, it has a continuity to it. It's not dropping off here and then going to the other side. It's actually snaking through, and it's going to go all the way to the bottom. But, you know, that's still too slow. We're going to cut this in half one more time and edit 9. This get rid of the 0 here. That should speed it up. There we go. We don't really want it any faster than that. Otherwise, what's the point of having a timer? So it'll reach all the way to the bottom of the screen and hopefully start over. You know, I enjoy you guys' viewership, and I hope you like these videos. I enjoy making them, and I might actually try to somehow port Ghost Saga to the text screen and see what I can come up with. But, you know, this computer has really bad text screen abilities. I don't even know if it's possible. Let's see how it does at the bottom here. We're either going to get an error or it's going to stop. And it goes a little too far. So I got to take more off. Edit 7. 5, I don't know, 504. Let's edit 9. Let's change this timer to 2. Here it goes. Now it's really flying. We probably don't need a timer at all, to tell you the truth, because it clears the screen. And the only problem is the faster you go, the more obscured it gets. But I want to see the cutoff now. What the cutoff point is here. I have to count it out, but I did not, so. Alright, it's off by 2. So it must be 506. And what we'll do here, to hurry this up, change the timer to 1. Now that's as fast as it could go a little faster if I took the timer out, but it should meet up right at the edge now. And that's as close as I'm going to be able to get. I don't know. I really might be off by 1. I don't know. I can't get it to line up right at the bottom right now. I think it might be off by I don't know. It's not lining up right for some reason, but you guys get the gist of it. So that's it for this video right now. It'd be easy to make a racing game on the text screen. I could have this thing going up this way, maybe. You know, you'd have to go this way, or maybe this way. I could easily hook this up to the joystick and control this so that it can move around obstacles. I don't know. And the last, you know what I want to leave you with, and this video has been half an hour. I don't know, some people watch the whole thing. I know Curtis usually does, a couple other people. If you don't watch the whole video, then you're not going to get the full lesson, you know. And the reason why I'm not upgrading to the Color Computer 3 is because I want to use as minimal hardware as possible to make the best game. Okay? I'll say that again. I want to make the best game with the minimal computing power possible. Just that's the purpose of this channel, to show that it actually can be done. And if you watch my videos, a lot of these games don't look like they're on a color computer 1 or 2. They look like they're on maybe an MS-DOS platform, because I have the experience playing DOS games and other types of games, so I know how to make the graphics look good and how to make a game that is playable. So I feel like if I went up to the Color Computer 3, all of this would be lost, and I believe that I can squeeze a lot more out of this computer, and that's why I started up this channel, because a lot of people abandon these computers without giving it a second thought, because they thought they were powerless and didn't have enough memory to do this and that. But they do. You just have to know what to do, to get that effect. And I know there is a limitation. There's definitely big limitations, but there's ways to work around it. You have to, and I've said this 2 or 3 times before, you have to make exceptions to the rule. You have to be willing to go without certain things technologically, because if you get hung up on all of the latest trends, then you're going to lose the substance that you were trying to hang on to in the first place. So I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you're thinking, and about these videos and this channel. And I'd like to see a lot more posts related to the TRS-80 besides what I'm doing. I can't find much. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what goes on at Computer Fest. I know you guys were just there. I don't know. I've never been. I used to go to computer shows, but it was always DOS-based computer shows in the 90s, and then they don't have those types of things anymore around here, as far as I know. Because you used to have to build your computer. It didn't come with everything like it does today. So I would go to computer shows for different chips to make the computer faster. I went for a Sound Blaster card. Sometimes I would go just to see what was out there game-wise. I had friends that used to go there and buy games, because back then everything was on disc, and you would have to load like 10 discs. You'd have to install the game onto a hard drive, or you couldn't play it without a hard drive. And it came with 10 discs sometimes or more. And it would take, you would have to install. I mean, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, send me a message here. I want to know what you guys, what your experience is beyond the TRS-80. I really think that if you want to stay with the Radio Shack brand, some of you guys might want to consider looking on eBay for like a Tandy 1000 series computer, and start learning how to program that, because you can do a heck of a lot more with a Tandy 1000 than you can with a Color Computer 3 or a 2 or a 1, because it wasn't very expandable. It was like a bread box, you know what I mean? It's not really an expandable computer. I mean, to some degree, but I don't know. I'm having trouble getting info on the 3 now. Curtis said a few things about it, but I don't know if it had card slots. Did the 3 have a modem, card slots in the back, so You could put like a hard drive controller in there. Did it accept the hard drive at all? Could you put an AdLib card in there? Could you put a modem in there? And the other thing is, I don't know when you guys want to have me on your show, but it's May. It's the middle of May, and if I'm gonna come on, I need to come on soon. Hopefully within the next few weeks. And otherwise, I'll send out. If I don't hear anything back, I'll have to talk to Curtis again and see when you guys want to have me on, because I'm anxious to meet some of you guys. I don't have the best camera setup. I just have a laptop right now. I actually need to get a camera. I'll have to buy a camera first because my laptop camera doesn't work the right way. It's not at the right angle. So I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoy this type of thing. If there's anything you want to see me try to attempt, let me know and I'll be glad to try it. Other than that, take care.